We're in a recession, and I'm here to help. I'm the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume, like I got this person ahead of. This is a resume review success story. This person said they've applied about 10 to 15 times with their new resume and got their first interview today. So everybody give them a congratulations in the comments. And they wanted to just say, like, yes, this is working, but we want to triple check to make sure everything's right, and maybe we can get an even better ratio, which is a one ratio is how many interviews how many applications it takes to get an interview. So that's what that is, and this is a 1 in 10, 1 in 12, which is fantastic. Honestly, anything, if you apply to 20 jobs and get a single interview out of those 20 jobs, that's a really good ratio. That's like really, 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 really good. So what we're looking for in a project coordinator, which we will probably find, is multitasking, organizational skills, industry, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Smartsheet, Jira, Confluence, Excel, MS Project, Outlook, proactive problem solving, client, customer, stakeholder interaction, and a bonus for any of that stuff. So will I find it in 20 seconds? Probably, yes. All right, and go. Cross-functional, good. Resulting model showcasing, good. Actionable dashboards to stakeholders. Smartsheet, Tableau, good. Good. Tells me what they did. Deployed their Model 5 weeks ahead of schedule by building automations. Okay, good. That's also what I need. Jira and Confluence may be needed for this industry. MS Office, fine. Qualified granting to do more research. Yeah, perfect. Is there anything here I'm really missing? I don't think I'm really missing anything. Maybe the industry, but that's just because I'm not aware of what this industry specifically would be. And for the future, anytime I put industry up in the qualifications list, it's your specific industry, because even though a project coordinator in healthcare versus a project coordinator in software development would have like 95% of the same qualifications, that 5% is going to differ to a degree that I cannot just put them in. So is there anything here that I could be extra picky with? Maybe, and this is one small word, and this is super picky, small and medium-sized client enterprises. If we can fit in the word client, maybe that would be better, unless that's internal, in which case it doesn't matter. But just putting in the word client would be pretty good. So that shows what they do, and it really does help. But other than that, is there anything here I can actually pick on? No. Is there anything I can pick on? And I don't think I really can. This is very good. This works. We only have, like, at the time of recording, this is October 17th, and everybody only has about one more month from now to start applying before the slowdown of winter happens. Every single year in winter, from the week before Thanksgiving until the second week of January, recruitment grinds to a halt. Now, this doesn't mean nobody's getting interviews. It just means less people are getting interviews. Roles get closed down. Roles get pushed off until January of the next year. People get sick. People go on vacation. It is a nightmare. So if you have a good resume and you are all suddenly panicking because, oh my gosh, it's not working, nothing's working during November and December, that's normal. On my website, it even says specifically, like, what is your ratio of applications, not counting December, because November and December are really weird. So don't panic if nothing happens. That is unfortunately just normal. The benefit of that, though, is that all of those roles get pushed off till January. So in January, from the second week of January to about the end of March, that is the biggest hiring boom of the year across multiple industries, across basically everything in the US, at least. I don't know about other countries, but yeah, that's the biggest time, and most of you will probably get a job during that time. So, yeah, there's really nothing I can pick on. This is a fantastic resume, which is good. So yeah, that's all I could really say about this. This is great. And if you want to get more help just like this, you can always hop on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST, where I go over these qualifications, how to fix your resume a little bit more, which is what I did with this person, and it's already leading to a lot of success. So thank you all for watching. Let's go to the next resume, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. this is this is a resume of a project manager. So what we're looking for in a project manager is pretty close to what we would actually look for in a project coordinator. Project coordinator is sort of like the entry level to a project manager a lot of the times. Sometimes you can skip it, sometimes not, but what they're looking for is the details about how and why you did X. So again, it's not necessarily the what that they're focused on, but how you did it and why. How did you make things happen compared to how you did things? PMP, CSM, those are certifications. Customer, stakeholders, agile industries, number of team members, matrix, cross-functional, number of projects, budgets, multitasking. How did you use resources for success? How you solved problems and influenced people? Jira, Confluence, MS. So, can I find it? This person says they have a 1 in 25 ratio, which is fantastic, but we'll see if that's actually accurate or not. So, yeah, let's go. All right, can't use anything here. Can't use anything here. All right. Spearheaded delivery of an impact by coordinating efforts across engineering. That's actually a good sentence. Workflows to multiple departments. That's solid. Statements work deliver coordinated resources. Not bad. Management misapproaching dependencies. 3 box driving innovation. It's workflow in ClickUp. It's actually not terrible. I would prefer a little bit more about the like. So when I talk about data analysts, I tell them I don't need to know how you did it. I just need to know what you did. It's actually the opposite for managers. It's not necessarily as important of what you did. It's more how you did it. And that's a bit of what I'm missing here. This actually isn't terrible because, again, it tells me where you are, which is a SaaS initiative. It tells me that you did stuff cross-functional. Tell me that you led project scope, scamming, and workflows. I cannot speak today. Yeah, so it's not terrible. You may actually have maybe this really is a 1 in 25, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing. Risk assessment, stakeholders. Yeah. So it's not terrible. I think you need to make it a little cleaner and basically just delete this stuff because this stuff should be here and I need a little bit more about how you did it. So let me read what they actually wrote, which is say, I live in Pakistan and I'm looking for a remote project manager job, ideally in the US, EUR, or Singapore. So you won't get it in the US unless you are applying to contract roles in Pakistan. I cannot speak for the EU or Singapore. The reason is, again, which I think I covered last episode, is you need the work authorization to work in the United States first. So you first need to get a work authorization and then you can legally work in the United States. So it doesn't matter if you're from Pakistan or Canada or Mexico or the EU, is if you do not have the United States work authorization, you cannot work in the United States. But what you can do, and this is what a lot of people sort of do to get into it, is there are a lot of companies that subcontract out to places in that area. So there may be some US companies that are subcontracting out and that contracting company is hiring developers. So that might be something that they are looking for. But if you straight up apply to a company that is not a contracting company, they're not going to be able to really move you forward. So it's not bad, actually, and your overall resume isn't terrible. Needs a little bit more, but that's the main problem, I imagine, is, well, if you're not authorized to work in the United States. If you are authorized to work in the United States, that's awesome. I don't know. But in that case, you just need a little bit more of the details. That's the big thing. Like, Spirit Delivery Initiatives, that's great. I like this, okay? But then I need to know, how big was this project? As a manager, even if this is a project manager, this is where I actually do need numbers, right? If an engineer says 32% saved 100, I don't care. But as a project manager, I do need to know how many projects you were doing at the same time. I need to know the budget of those projects. I need to know if they were, what the schedule of those projects are. So I need you to show me what you did a little bit more, because how you did it is more important than what you did, which is, again, the reverse for data analysts. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. They say they have a 1 to 50 ratio, which is average. Again, that's like a C minus, right? It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. And you can get a job with a C minus resume, okay? That's like the minimum, but it still passes. A pass is a pass. And it really doesn't matter well, the grade of what you got as long as you got a job. So what we're looking for in a data scientist, before I do the 20 seconds, is your degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms. So like data modeling, data analytics, data, whatever. Your industry, such as healthcare, SDLC, explaining stuff to non-technical folks. Again, that is going to be in almost every single STEM thing. Influencing stakeholders, cross-functional. Cloud, any of the cloud is fine. Microsoft Office applications, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Google Sheets. Usually it's one of the other. Google Sheets is becoming a little bit more popular now. AI, Spark, Skibbity-Learn, which is scikit-learn. I really hate saying scikit-learn. I don't like it. I don't like the terminology. Pandas, again, weird name. NumPy, which at least that one's for like number Python or something. I don't know what the num is. I get the pi is for Python. Dashboards and data visualization, so Tableau, Power BI, and ETL. Can I find it? Let's see. All right, and okay, this is not in the US. These are the US versions of the qualifications. I don't know where this person is, but at least I have to judge this on a US bent. It may be different where they are. So, build interactive real-time dashboards. Okay, good. With Python, good. Use SQL, good. Python, you already said. Data visualization is good. Bugging, test board trading, GitHub maybe can be useful in SDLC. Built APIs with Python and CAD models. Machine learning, that's actually not bad. This could be better. I want to be clear. Like, I still need some other stuff, and this should be deleted. But it hit a couple of stuff, right? Like, it had Python. Python counts. Python or R is what I really should say. We have data visualization stuff, which is exactly what I would like. So that one's this. Oh, and ETL. So that's good. We have a little bit of AI. And that's like right here as well, just in the internship in the first one down there. Do I have the industry? Did I actually find the industry? I don't think I did. Well, you know what? SDLC with GitHub Actions, that might... I'm going to be generous and count that as software. That may be it. I did not see explaining stuff to non-technical folk, which I do need. I did need cloud. I did have data in all its forms. Did I have SQL? Yeah, and SQL. So, and your degree. So yeah, if you notice, this actually is a pretty solid resume. At least it would be in the US. I would be missing this stuff, but this might be enough to move you forward, right? You had basically most of what I needed. This is on the verge of 75, which is percent. So again, I need 75% of that to move you forward, which tracks because they said it's a 1 in 50. So this reads like a 1 in 50. So I am looking for junior work student and internships. I could not find any in the past 1 to 2 years. So, oh, wait, you're an intern? Are you looking for internships? Or are you looking for... Okay, y'all need to be very specific, because if you're looking for a full-time job, at least in the U.S., you have most of what I would need. Now, again, this does not count any work authorization things or where you're applying from, but you kind of have most of what I need. But yeah, internships are different. I want to be very clear to people. The resume that gets you an internship is probably not the resume that will get you a full-time job, and the resume that gets you a full-time job is probably not going to get you an internship. They are different jobs. So you need to specify which is which when you do this, because I'm not sure if I'm looking for a data scientist or a data scientist intern, and those are different. But this is about a 1 in 50 for a data scientist. This is not terrible. Like I said, those are just the things that I would need left. And I think if, at least in the US, if you were not, whenever you graduate, you actually would stand a chance if you have a work authorization. So overall, not a bad resume. Like, yeah, the formatting's off. Yes, this could have been deleted. Yes, it looks a little funky. But again, the content matters more than the formatting. Sometimes the formatting matters more if it's so bad they can't read anything. But I would always prefer better content than better formatting. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a Python developer in the EU. So my EU qualification list is slightly outdated. There may be a couple of other things I need, but unfortunately I'm running low on time. So this should be at least close enough to what you're looking for. So Can I find it in 20 seconds? Well, can I find Python, SQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Flask, Cloud, and its words, so like AWS and EC2 or whatever they are for Azure and GCP, I don't actually know. RESTful/fast APIs, Git, CI/CD, and then a bonus for basically what else? So like either AI or DevOps or full stack or multi-threading or that kind of stuff. So let's find out and go. Okay, this doesn't matter. Django, REST. Oh no, you did not tell me Python. There it is. Okay, Python. Good. CSS deployment, limited Django. Ugh, why did you say leveraged? Postgre database, AWS S3 for storage. It's not terrible actually. Did that have enough to move you forward? Let's check. So we got Django, we got RESTful APIs. I don't know if we had fast, but that's okay. We had a little bit of full stack, so that would be here. We did, what else did we find? AWS is cloud. We definitely found Python, even though it was a little late. You should have put Python up here, but whatever. And SQL I saw, although admittedly it was down here, so it's possible they may have missed it. Did we find Flask? No. Did we have Kubernetes? No. Do we have Docker? No. Do we have Git? Yes. I missed Git on my first go. That was on me, but you did have it. Well, it can be written a little bit better. CI/CD. Do we have it? No. Docker, I think I said twice, and I think that's it. Okay, so that might be enough to move you forward. That is it, right? Like, could do a lot better, but could do a lot worse. This may be like a 1 in 50. I think I saw it was a 1 in 75, which also tracks. So let's see. I found your content on Instagram Reels. Good. I applied to over 75 internships last year and received 0 interviews. I have now changed my CV looking at graduate and junior roles. Okay. Yeah, so there are some problems with this one. Man, everybody's trying to apply to jobs like 9 months in advance. It does work for some very big companies. Most companies don't do that, but some very, very big companies will hire like 9 months in advance for like graduate roles and stuff. But it's almost specifically like entry level. And it's not all of them either. So here's where we have a problem. This is a bad first sentence. Working in groups, we help the client use the latest technology to solve their business needs. What technology? What client? What was their industry? What were their business needs? I have no idea. You told me none of that. So this can be safely deleted. This, leveraged. Please stop using the word leveraged. Just say used. This is a personal thing. I'm not knocking points off. I just don't like the word leveraged. It's weird. No one talks like that. And there's a common theme of candidates trying to corporatize their resume, and you don't want that. You want your resume to be boring and basic. You want to use basic words, not leveraged. Just say used. So just say used Django REST framework to create an API. So, okay, used Django RESTful APIs and to create the e-commerce store for the client. Using agile methodology, I believe that should be capitalized. I receive feedback from the client on a regular basis. That was actually pretty good. Ensured there was sufficient documentation. Nope, didn't. I mean, I don't care about that. I need you to tell me why that's important. And used GitHub to monitor code base. Again, that one's okay. So, if you can see this, there is 2 sentences that should not exist. This one and this one. And you created a critical flaw, which is you did not tell me you used Python until down here. I am aware. I am aware. You all know what I'm about to say. I am aware. Doesn't matter. If it's implied, it doesn't count. If it's implied that you use Python because you use Django, which is a Python whatever, it doesn't matter. You need to say Python. Just say Python, Django, and RESTful APIs. Okay? I'm aware of the rage. It does not matter if it's implied. Nothing's implied. Absolutely nothing's implied. I have had this argument over a decade ago with nurses where I said, you need to write triaged, took blood, and did that stuff. They said, literally every nurse does that. I'm like, I don't care. They need to see it. So if I could fight with nurses about this and get them jobs when the nursing market was not as hot, then I can fight with you on this. So please, stop implying you have something. State it clearly. The rest of this is okay if a little bare. I would have preferred something a little more, but whatever. Created a web application using Python, HTML, and CSS. Good. And deployed the website online. That's perfectly fine. Leveraged. Yeah, stop saying leveraged. Just say used Django. In fact, I need more than this, right? Like, this is a bit of the issue with this resume is each bullet point only has one of the things I'm looking for. And I would prefer it to have multiple, right? Like, I don't want you to just say used RESTful API. I want you to say used RESTful API, Git, CI/CD, and SQL to create blankety blankety blank. Created a web application using Python, HTML, and CSS. That one's solid. In an agile environment, right? Or in an AWS environment. That way it says AWS S3. So this is not like the worst resume ever. There's actually some good stuff in it. This is, besides the very first one, which is fantastic, one of the better resumes of this and last video. Again, besides the first one. But yeah, you just don't have quite enough in the same ones, right? So I want you to say used Python, Django, and RESTful APIs to create an e-commerce for the client. And then down here you can say use Python, HTML, and CSS. And then used Django, PostgreSQL, and something else. It's just a little bare, right? Like every bullet point should include more than one qualification. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of an IT support specialist or help desk or tier 1 IT. They go by a lot of different names, but they actually all sort of have the same qualification. One of the differences between them, though, is it really does depend on like what they're supporting. Sometimes like it's a little bit different from a SaaS product versus a like network versus like cyber stuff. So they can be a little bit different, but this is the general qualities that we're looking for. So I want to see like Mac OS, Linux, Android, Windows, and then what version of Windows. I want to see that you have your education up. That includes certifications. I want to see that you've done customer service, that you have done troubleshooting or problem solving, that you have any one of these from networking, DNS, DHCP, TCP, IP, VPN, that you can multitask and meet deadlines, that you have stuff specifically for the industry. So again, maybe it's cloud like Azure, maybe it's LAN WAN for like, I think Cisco stuff, or maybe it's CRMs, which are customer relationship management stuff. So that's the part that's going to differ. And then I also want to see Jira, Office, Microsoft 365, Active Directory, and a bonus for CompTIA, Microsoft support, and probably way more certifications than I can even fit in. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Let us find out. And go. Okay, good. Okay, troubleshoot, perfect. Account access and IT support technician. Okay, Active Directory 365 and Outlook. Computer deployment with the Intuit RDP. Solved end user VPP troubleshooting. It's kind of fine. I actually don't know if I need to go further. The formatting's slightly off. So if you notice, there's no gap in between these, but there is on yours. So you should remove this little teeny gap in between these. And I think there's not enough of a gap in between these. But again, formatting is a minor issue. The more important thing is that you have this, and it seems like you do. The only thing I would be a little thing is I don't know if I know what industry you're in, although that might be that I'm just not in that industry, so I don't recognize it. C. Troubleshoot computer issues or account IT support technician using Active Directory. Again, that's what I want to deploy to Microsoft. Yeah, I would just want to know like what industry this is in. I think you were expecting me to roast this, but this is actually pretty much exactly what I would want, especially for an IT help desk where it's actually kind of rare, and you get like more than 20 seconds. But let me read what you wrote. You were also in chat, and I can answer you after. Saying, I'm currently seeking an IT technical support engineer role at Tier 1 or Tier 2 level. These positions are often listed under different titles, such as help desk or IT support. Yep, they are the same job, though, mostly. My most recent position was IT support technician, trouble using account management. Recently been applying broadly, but it wasn't tracking applications. I've updated my resume to a stronger format, added several projects, certs. Tomorrow you will be attending a cybersecurity fair where you plan to connect with employers directly. My goal is to secure a help desk. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the help. Well, I'm glad to help you out. But honestly, this is a pretty solid resume. Yeah, again, minor formatting issues. Really not a huge deal either. Projects, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't really... This is sort of the problem is this is really fine. I don't actually know how to change it besides the minor formatting issues. And really, that would only change it from like a 1 in 10 to a 1 in 9 or something. Like, it's a very minor change. Is there anything else? I do need the industry and the formatting. I think that's it. Updated based on troubleshooting, onboarding. Yeah. Is there anything I'm missing? Maybe Jira? Let me see about Jira. Yeah, I am missing Jira. Again, not the biggest issue. I have all that. Do I have multitasking? Yeah, I'm missing a little bit that you would handle multiple tickets at the same time. And how successful you are at doing that. And a little bit of customer service. But again, this is... I don't actually know if that's going to matter that much. You're still probably going to get an interview. As long as you're applying early. Remember, the faster you apply, the better your chances. Even if you have a fantastic resume, if you apply number 250 and they stop looking at 150 candidates, you will not be seen. But yeah, no, I like it. I want a little bit more in industry, a little bit better, cleaner on the formatting, probably some Jira and customer service. But again, you meet 75% of the requirements. This would be a meet. I am being very picky because I think this is successful. So that's why I'm picking on those very small things. But it's not a roast. I actually think a lot of the people that think, oh, I need to be roasted up everything. And it's like, y'all usually have better resumes. So yeah, pretty solid. And that is all for this episode. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode. You can join me on Twitch. There's a skip function, by the way. If you watch 3 of my streams, you get a free skip. It's approximately how much it is, and you can skip the resume queue, which is currently like a 250 resumes long. I am receiving more than I can review in the amount of time. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join me on twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.